So AEW happened. AEW Dynamite review. Yeah, alrighty, folks. So this is the last show before for All In, their supposed WrestleMania. Um, I still can't believe, like, what is the difference between All In and All Out? Clearly, All In sadly is now has overtaken All Out, which for the past few years supposedly was the biggest show that they try to do, and now All Out is just like a useless pay per view. Rather than they should try to make that show essentially like their sort of night two of WrestleMania. I would say. I don't know. I just don't get what they're trying to do with honestly with their pay per views. I don't think they have any sort of direction aside from clearly All In. Um, but yeah, All In is their supposed biggest show. And again, it's counterproductive to like against Saturday Night Main Event, night and NXT, Great American Bash, whatever. But they're like afraid of WWE where they're not gonna really compete in the same night, so they're happening in the afternoon. I don't know, whatever. Um, the show started with Mercedes Monet and Timeless Tony Storm. Mercedes is here. He's only two things come from Texas, and I'm at least one of them. Mercedes says Tony is hiding behind the screen and calls her a mark. Yeah, Mark? What? Bitch, aren't you a fucking Mark? Okay, Mercedes says that she won't hurt her. Too bad. Storm never says she was hiding. She comes out. Tony Storm, with a bottle of champagne, proposes a toast, a civil toast, a toast to Mercedes, a future, the new seven belt. Mercedes Monet tastes the champagne and tells Tony the champagne was burnt or frozen at one point. Mercedes then says like how we walk similar paths. We always we all but I was always better. I'm not afraid of doing anything. I've been through hell and back, making the devil my bitch. The more people hate me, the more I win. Nothing is gonna stop the money train. And even Tony, which and oh I'm the one women revolution. I'm the alpha, omega, and everything in between. So she rephrased like some stupid song, whichever that song is. So she says she went hell and back. When was that ever the case when you were in freaking AEW for crying out loud? Which is complete bullshit. That never was the case like in AEW. Maybe it would make sense if you reference it in terms of like when you back in WWE or something. Even though I don't care, but like how does that make any fucking sense? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Tony says legacies don't exist. One day all turn to dust. Won't be forgotten. Will be for die. Mercedes. Do you get it? All that matters of one moment. The Tony in the eyes and whatever. You could no, it will be civil, but it turns out it'll be wrong. This Sunday, this means this, or she means this Saturday. Let the Bush woman win. Eat shit, bitch. She swings at Mercedes. Mercedes escapes. I don't know. Just what some useless banter that I really couldn't care much for. In all honesty, this was just whatever. I mean, I like Tony Storm, but just whatever. This was just you clearly know that they're going to try to give the title to Mercedes because, whatever. Backstage politics shit. Um, John Moxley, I'm going to show you, I'm crazy. You're not a warrior, Mage. You'll follow the pressure in the Texas Death. You got one chance to prove me wrong before we go all in. Yeah. Konosuke take a shit, whatever, or not, whatever. It's the Don Callis family. They defeated Brody King and Bandito. I couldn't really care much. Rick is shit with his, I guess not really, is it a new faction? I don't know, whatever. Everyone has a faction. He defeated Blake Christian or whatever. Not that I give a fuck about. We get a video package of the, Omega, whatever, Omega and Okada, like their history or whatever. So they're not on the show. We see backstage. We see the Hurt Syndicate. Their titles are stolen, but they're gonna get revenge or whatever. Now MJF has to focus on Jay Briscoe. MJ confronts Jay Briscoe. basically, Jay Briscoe knows like, oh, what you gonna do? You're gonna insult me. You're gonna bring up my brother. You're gonna bring up my brother. I know how this all goes. You're gonna bring up my brother, and you're gonna use useless tactics to get under my head. You have a pickle for brain. But then like, whatever. I'm blessed to have the dream, but while you're morally bankrupt, you became a joke. And then like, whatever. Whatever. It has no soul. MJF says that J. Briscoe will go down as one of the greats, but claims he's looking down from the heavens and sad to see Mark has become a joke. MJF says that Jay was able to, if Jay was able to be here tonight, tell Mark to say in the face that he should have been in the car accident. So basically, like, just the whole, like, he was about to do GP or whatever. Then Briscoe attacks MJF, he escapes through the crowd. Eventually, we do see the Hurston that they confront the people who stole the tag titles. I don't know, some fucking Kevin Knight or something. I don't even remember these guys. Like, whatever, Kevin Knight, I think, and Mike Bailey, whatever. They stole the tag titles, but then the patriarchy makes their way, and they all like target like whatever. So because they're gonna be in the tag title match, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. Megan Bain won against Tamelo, Tykla, and Queen Amamata in the Fatal 4 match to get the number 2 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match. Again, a video package. Samoa Joe defeats Wheeler Yuta, and then Gabe Kidd attacks Samoa Joe. Whatever. Tykla and Queen Amamata gets in the brawl backstage. Who cares? And the main event. Moxley, Claudio, and the Young Bucks defeat Hangman, Will Ospreay, Power Ups, and Shibata. A little preview, somewhat for for All In, where showing preview of Hangman and Moxley, but they failed to win the match. Moxley failed to win. Not Moxley. Hangman. After the match, the Death Riders hold Page and Ospreay down. Moxley was about to use the chain, but then we see Swerve Strickland with a truck, whatever. Basically one of those, the crane truck. He rephrases something that Hangman had says to him that where peace and something about. It was like something like similar where people want to talk about how there's like long-term booking. It's not long-term booking necessarily. Like it just it just so happens to be something they will continue like what they can base off of, but something like that when Hangman burned down Swerve's house, mentioned how their peace comes with whatever peace in mind doesn't come whatever. It's just something he rephrased that when Hangman mentioned how basically he kind of just rephrased the same thing where he destroyed something of his own. He decided to destroy the Young Bucks' limo, and that leaves the Young Bucks getting mad and angry and sad, and then they ran to the limo and then gets attacked by Swerve, and then Hangman stands tall with the baby faces while as Moxley retreats, leading to that's how the show ends All In. I mean, this was not, I guess, a terrible ending. This was not a terrible ending to the show. A little chaos in the end, but it's just not really that much exciting. Didn't feel like this was really the best or most chaotic way. If they really want to make this chaotic, they should have made this show chaotic the entire time, or it should have been definitely more chaos. But we didn't really see that, unfortunately. It was just kind of, I guess, if a little bit of a safer way of how they ended the show. In all honesty, I would have wished there was some more heat, I would say, towards this pay-per-view. But at the end of the day, that's Dynamite. So yeah, I mean, for a show called Dynamite, this was not definitely a Dynamite show, that's for sure. And the show, again, it still failed in terms of most of the shit was just who the hell cares? And I still don't even, if you ask me, I can't really tell you what matches are happening at the pay-per-view. I'm so out of it. I don't know what the matches are happening in All In. And this is the freaking go-home show. And this is, again, building towards your supposed biggest show of the year, which I don't get it. You know what I mean? But before I end this show, I do want to recap something that happened in Collision. As the time I'm recording this is also after the Collision that they did on Thursday this week. I will say this is something I did like from Collision. Hangman and Swerve, they meet up. This is something they recorded on Wednesday. Hangman goes to Swerve's locker room. Osprey was there, but he was told like, don't do anything, guys. Come on, we're on the same page, aren't we? And then like Hangman like tells Osprey just give us 2 minutes, and then Swerve Hangman they talk. Page claims that he had nothing to do with what happened with the Young Bucks costing the World Title Dynasty, but it says that Swerve, but you deserved getting your house down, but I know that you deserved it too. But what makes me angry that I did what I had to do because what you did to my family. I just need to know like I regret what went down. I just need to know if you do. And then like basically like he's like wondering what happened. And then like Swerve says I do regret. I think it's time to put the anger back in the past. So basically they made like a little bit like they cleared the air. And then Paige reveals how he's going to have his family be at Texas, and he promises he'll stay away from them. Kind of make plain here because like, now it makes it clear that the reason why he's so angry because his son is so angry to be at home because of Swerve. So, yeah, like, I would say now it's like more indication of understanding the story. And yeah, them being like foes to each other, that's actually quite something. So I guess that's the only positive I would say with AEW where in terms of their little story. So that's good, I guess. Good on them. Say that was the only positive I would say from Collision or mentioned from Collision, and that was Dynamite. Yeah, clearly that this is the only thing that's yeah. I don't think much to really say about AEW. All in. Their supposed WrestleMania does not feel as big as it should be. But whatever, we'll see what happens. As far as where Dynamite Collision goes, because of how their shows fail to basically make me care, that's why the shows is lack of care. Till next time, peace.